Right, take it
Hello.
away.
Here we are with another episode of Couple Goals.
Yes, we're back, and we have literally just pulled in from a trip to Toowoomba.
Yeah, if it looks like we've been to a funeral, it's because we have, um, unfortunately.
Well, you look like you've been to a funeral. I just look elegant.
You do. Always look elegant, Lockie.
Thank you.
Lockie's great uncle, unfortunately passed away.
Right.
But he was
92 years old.
Yeah,
That's a phenomenal life.
great innings, and
Very active.
he published a book right before he
Poetry,
passed away.
bush poetry.
It's very good.
His name was Donald Crane. So check it out. Check out his bush poetry if you're into poetry. We'll grab a copy of it. But anyway, I always find when I get out of the car, it takes me a bit to fire back up. Like
I
I'm
know,
feeling a
it's
bit
soul
flat. We
sucking,
were
isn't it?
like, am I going to hit the gym before this podcast or vice versa? And we chose podcast where I still feel flat. I probably
We're dressed up
would have
nicely.
felt knackered after the gym. So either way, I was in strife today.
I think we made the right choice, so you can chat to everybody about what we've been up to and unwind a bit.
Well, we've got an exciting announcement that you're announcing tomorrow.
Yes,
And I just found out you're announcing tomorrow, which means I can announce tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it. However, the reason why I wanted to bring that up now and later, we missed last week.
I know.
We did, and that was intentional. And I would say we're probably going to miss a couple more over the next couple of weeks. Would you say that's fair?
Yep, and you'll find out why.
And you'll find out why tomorrow. Now, once we've announced it and you guys are aware of what's happening, you'll then be aware of when we'll be back to consistent episodes.
Yeah, I think we're going to be moving more towards a season because that would just be more consistent.
Yeah, we've got a lot happening.
Yeah. And I think that'd
For
be
those
great
who
and
are
more
watching on
engaging
Patreon, you can now watch how I eat a banana.
You should have let me peel it with my toes.
No, because you smush it. I didn't want apple banana strudel. I wanted to eat the banana. But what's been happening? What have you been up to? Give everyone a bit of a rundown. I'm going to chew on this banana, so don't mind if you hear any noises in the background.
It's been a really crazy week last week, which is why we didn't actually get around to doing the podcast. I just felt like there was so many events on. I went to a Virgin Voyager event. So Virgin are opening their own cruise ship line here in Australia, and it's pretty exciting. It looks pretty fancy. Like sorry if you got kids and really like kids, but there's no kids. 18 plus, which sounds like a great holiday. Yeah. And they're just making, like, their vision is to make a cruise ship which has eliminated all the things that people don't like about cruise ships. So
there's a lot of stuff. You're probably thinking to yourself, kids. You're probably also thinking to yourself, kids. And it probably crossed your mind, and kids.
They've just like done nice food, Michelin star chefs,
really?
Which are all included. Because there's no kids, you can have a hammock on your balcony.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and there's like pool parties that you can go to. Obviously 18 plus.
Yeah.
All sorts of really cool things. It just looks like a really, I don't know, a bit more bougie way of doing it.
I feel bad saying it's all about like kids suck because they don't.
No, but there's a time and a place, and if you want to do the kids,
have you ever done a cruise?
No, I don't think I ever would. But seeing the Virgin one, I think I would do.
Why wouldn't you have done a cruise?
Kids. No. I don't know. It just looks like a bit claustrophobic.
The funniest one was when Emma and Liam went on it, and as they were leaving the port, I don't know whether this was a cruise in general or this was just America. But what were they doing the YMCA when they were leaving or something like that?
Like nah nah nah, and everyone was waving
the whole boat, like,
and they all have like matching t-shirts and like I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a cult.
And she just said it was kind of interesting how I guess the cruise ship attracts a certain kind of person, maybe.
I don't know. Some of our listeners may be cruisies.
Yeah, well, in America anyway. And she was just shocked that they went to like around Jamaica and
Jamaica buy you
Caribbean.
anything?
The Caribbean. And then when I got to Jamaica, Emma was
no.
like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to like try some of the local cuisines and, you know, get off this cruise ship." And apparently everyone just got off the cruise ship and went straight to like Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Really?
Yeah, and just order like burgers and fries, which just blows my mind. So I don't know. That never really appealed to me.
Well, when you got a craving, you got a craving.
Yeah.
Burgers are good. But yeah, no, I get you.
But so I never thought it was really for me. And
Mm.
this the thought of like a tiny room on a ship with like lots of kids running down the hallways. Like, I don't know. But when we were there, I was like, that's so cool. And they were like, so we're gonna give away that, like the CEO and like some of the high people did
The high people.
they did a presentation about the cruise ship, and then they're like, all right, now some exciting news. We're gonna give away 4 cruises. I think it was like 4 to 6 day cruise. To 4 lucky winners in the audience tonight. So you look at your wristband. We all had wristbands on. You look at your wristband, and if you've got a number, you're going on a cruise ship. Everyone's looking. I was like, no, it's not me, unfortunately. And then after like a minute or so, he's like, no, nobody. He's like, oh, I guess that you'll all have to go on a cruise ship. We're like, what? It was like an Oprah moment. He's like, you get a cruise, you get a cruise.
Thanks,
We're like,
Branson.
so,
And where are you going?
well, you're coming with me.
Where are we going?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
They're like, we'll be in touch. Everyone who's invited
Well, yeah,
tonight.
we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling everyone
Still
about it.
waiting for
And
that email.
yeah, cheap.
But I thought that was
Chirp,
pretty cool.
chirp,
So
not
we're
cheap.
going on the Virgin Cruise at some point, which is really exciting.
Have some virgin cocktails.
Just the normal cocktails.
Okay.
And then we went out on the Friday. The next event was the Moreton Bay Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, you have been a busy gal.
Oh, you didn't come.
No, I didn't.
Well, that was a great event that you missed out on.
What was
mean,
I
it's
doing?
all in
Oh,
the title.
yeah.
Food, wine.
Pretty self-explanatory.
And we got to go in this like bungalow, which was great, outlooking the ocean, the bay, and you know, fresh seafood, a couple of cocktails, some wine, and then I brought you home a big cookie.
It was a nice cookie and some Portuguese tarts,
Oh
but
yeah,
didn't get into those straight away. Too much sugar. I was like, oh, can't possibly. That
so,
cookie was very
oh my
nice.
God, insane.
Put it in the microwave for 20 seconds and melted from the inside out.
Yeah, it was almost like cookie dough on the inside, wasn't it? Anyway,
Yummy. What did I do Friday night? I was just hanging out, was I? No, I had. Did I have something on?
you were working, and then I came home Friday night.
That's right. Oh no, I had a lunch with a client at Same. That was nice.
Oh,
Then I did that, trained, came home, did a bit more work. Nothing too exciting. But I was in Melbourne the week before. That was exciting. So much sport on. Didn't actually attend any because had too much on. But Saturday, what did we do Saturday? Oh, Saturday
was
I went for an 80-minute. It's funny. You're like, oh.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Sunday.
And
So
Saturday
Lockie's still training for his
race.
and he's.
I leave in 5 weeks.
How are you feeling? You feeling
I'm
fit?
feeling
You gonna
very
win
fit.
this?
I want to win. I don't like losing, so we'll see. Feel good. But Sunday, what we do Saturday night? Oh no, I had a comedy show. No,
Yeah, I just laid low Saturday because I was pretty wrecked.
and I had a
all the
comedy show
events.
which was hilarious. Christian Hull, who was a former client, and Chris Wayne, they're funny buggers together. Really good. It was called Naked and can't even remember what it was called, but it was a funny show. It was basically they went up there with like 3 questions and just were impromptu for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And just made the crowd were in stitches. But I was also sitting there. It was getting towards like 9.
Lockie's bedtime.
And my body, because I ran 15K in the morning, then I trained at the gym with Liam. Oh, that's right. I saw Gary Vee. So I went to a personal development event. So I was on all day. And I was just sitting there like, oh man, I need to sleep. Because I knew we had to get up early the next day for Scenic Rim.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And I went to the Carers Foundation
that's right.
event. So I had like 4 to 5 events on. Anyway, Carers Foundation was great. Just quick summarize it. Raises money for the Carers Foundation, which supports people who are carers. And
It's in the name. A lot of these events have the description in the name now. It's
yeah,
quite handy.
I know, but it's
It's
really
like
opens
the
your eyes to how important it is for
carers
these,
are.
carers are, but how important it is for these people to get a break as well, because it's just a thankless job and they do it because usually it's a family member, someone they
Yeah.
love. There's no other option really.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a stat that 30% of the carers die before the person they're caring for,
That's a
whether it's suicide or
And I wonder what that
stress
would be
or
then
heart
like for
attacks.
the individual needing the caring, not having
Their
someone
carer.
that they've been so comfortable with disappear.
It's pretty
Or
horrible.
yeah, wouldn't be ideal, that's for sure.
Mm.
I was listening to something on that where people looking after or people who look after those with Alzheimer's or dementia, like the carers for those are apparently at the top of that list, because they don't get any genuine connection with the people because they just quite often don't know where they are or
Yeah.
a lot of that sort of stuff. So they don't get that human connection that you maybe get with other people, which is sad. And yeah, it is a very selfless,
Isolating job.
isolating
Thankless.
career or yeah, career. We'll use career. Career it is. But let's lighten it up.
Yeah.
Scenic Rim.
Scenic Rim. Sunday we we got invited by the Scenic Rim Council to come
Go
and
check out their
experience
rim.
what's around. And it was actually such a good day. We had a really good time.
Well, and for those who don't know where the Scenic Rim is, you head an hour south of Brisbane, you're at Burleigh on the Gold Coast. Head an hour north, you're not quite at the Sunshine Coast, but you're on your way. Head an hour west, get to Warwick, and then a little bit down from Warwick. It's about there, but it is phenomenal. When you're on the drive, you look all around you, and it's literally like a rim of mountains.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
quite
beautiful.
picturesque.
Picturesque, and we went camel riding, which is
Mm.
just ridiculous, really, isn't it?
It's quite funny.
Yeah, it was fun.
I like a morning
cute.
hump.
We got to feed the camels, and
We ate camel.
you ate camel.
That was wild. Here's this. We've driven the hour, as I mentioned, roll into the joint, get a photo with the camels. We've got about 30 minutes to kill before we get to ride the camels. So we walk into the cafe. And in the cafe, we roll in to get our coffees. I'm like, Amy, what would you like? Almond milk, flat white. Awesome. Almond milk. No, we only do 2 milks here. We do cow milk, or I was going to say goat milk, but camel milk. And we're like, what? Amy did not want cow milk. So she thought, I'll try it. And they said, it's a little bit saltier. When they mentioned that, I was like, cool, chatting, paid. And I was actually, I want a meat pie as well. I felt like a meat pie with tomato sauce. They bring the meat pie out. It has a camel in pastry on it. I started eating the pie and I was like,
This ain't beef.
this ain't beef, man. There's something weird. And then you're looking out like 30 meters away and there's camels over the fence looking at you like you're eating my brother.
Oh.
So I couldn't finish it. And it was,
and the milk.
oh, they brought out shots of, like, it's an acquired taste. It's a bit saltier.
It's salty, a little bit sweet, but also kind of like soy milk,
I
it's
don't
like a
know.
bit watery as well. Like, oh,
So I know. Think of if you had like a milky, salty texture in your mouth. What would that be like?
But apparently it's good for you. Like a lot of people who are lactose intolerant can
Can
handle.
tolerate it.
I don't know.
Come
In the
on.
coffee, I actually
Don't
couldn't
you think
taste
it's
it.
weird that we don't drink human milk? Like, at what point do we say let's just drink cow's
It's
milk?
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Like every other animal, like cows aren't like, can we have goat's milk, please?
Yeah, when you think about it.
It's odd.
But also probably because breasts are sexualized.
Do you reckon?
Are breasts sexualized?
No, like, do you reckon that's why we?
No. And also, I don't know. You'd have to like run it through a few.
Probably be a few human rights things there around milking ladies' breasts. I'd say.
Yeah, but if it's a full job, but then you have to like, I don't know, pasteurize it. Who knows? It's kind of weird.
Boobies.
But yeah, they say that we shouldn't really be drinking cow's milk either because it's for baby cows.
Bad for people's farts. All right, well, let's hear your Reddit this week. What have we got?
So, headline is, I found out that my wife has a bank account that she's been keeping from me. I've
Was
been
this my text message to you?
I've been thinking about this all day and I can't make sense of it. So I'm turning to the Reddit community. To set the scene, I have been married to my wife for 10 years. We have 2 boys, 6 and 10. I work full time and my wife is a stay-at-home mom. Our
Mm.
eldest boy is in school and our youngest is at home with her during the day. Financially, we do okay. There's no issues putting food on the table and paying bills, but we're not going on an overseas holiday every year. Last night, I was looking at our joint bank account on the internet and I noticed an unexpected transfer, about $100, so not huge.
That's so naughty.
I thought this was odd and I looked through the transaction history and saw there's quite a few transfers to this account. There doesn't appear to be a pattern to the frequency or the amount. I confronted my wife and she finally admitted that she has a separate bank account that she hasn't told me about. I wasn't happy about this, but what got me real upset was that she refused to show me the account on the internet. What is like on the internet?
Mm.
As I wanted to see how much was in it and what purchases she had made. I called her a liar.
Fair.
Oh my God, that's a bit. And
Mm.
untrustworthy, which I probably shouldn't have. I went to bed without talking to her again. I got up early this morning to go to the gym while she was still asleep, which is a normal Saturday for a Saturday. I went through her wallet and found her bank card. Oh, I know. On the way home from the gym, I went to the ATM and checked the balance. She uses the same pin for everything.
Rookie.
There was only a few $100s in the account. The ATM only provides the balance and doesn't show past transactions. This seems to stack up because I would have noticed more money missing.
Well,
Mm,
well. Naughty, 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 Sally.
I know.
Okay, so thoughts?
I don't know. Like, this says to me that this woman is maybe feeling financially controlled. Why does she have to feel like she
Interesting
has to
perspective.
lie?
Yeah, a good point.
I think I don't think it's I don't condone lying, but why did she feel that she had to hide a couple $100 from her husband? Like obviously
Good
he's
perspective.
maybe
Or
not allowing her to spend
or maybe
her
she was just
spending.
stealing anyway, because there's people who do that.
Why would you steal?
Well, there's
But also
two
maybe
sides to every coin.
maybe she there's also a reason why like for me I would always want to have my own little nest egg.
Well, you're not allowed it. Okay, chop your cards up.
Even if it's like a small amount, but you always need that
I'm
emergency.
glad you have your emergency fund, because if I saw the transactions on yours, I would have a heart attack. I'd
Yeah,
just be
you
like,
would.
for fuck's sake, are you kidding?
You would.
I'm glad you just buy whatever shit you want from your own
Um,
account.
yeah, but I think it's really important for all women to
And
have
men
just
happen.
everyone to have
Yeah.
their own little nest egg, but particularly women because they often lose
Yeah, no,
their
definitely.
dependence.
Well, I heard a story recently. I went, but one person, when they got divorced, she couldn't get credit because all the credit cards were in her husband's name. I'm like, that's crap. Like, even
Yeah,
if you could say we were married for this many years and you know, shared the cards, the bank still wouldn't, she didn't
yeah.
have a credit rating. And it's like,
Well, what about we were listening to a podcast today, and the lady, her husband died,
hmm,
and she couldn't access their money because it was
they'd
in
be a good couple to
his
get on the potty,
yeah,
maybe.
because all the money was in his account.
Yeah, and they were going to seize the account.
But that's her, like they're married. That's why you get married, right? I don't know.
Marriage. Yeah, wow.
When someone passes away, like
It's crazy.
anyway.
I don't know. I think, well, okay. The communication one, why do you need it, or what are you not getting, as you mentioned? I
Mm,
think it's important for everyone to have, or we think it's important for everyone to have a joint account. We've got a joint account, but we also have separate accounts.
yep.
I think it's awesome. What else would we add to that?
They need to have a conversation about why she felt the need to do this.
Yep. And why she didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, and then maybe she can have her own little budget if he's worried about her spending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem right. Like, what do you feel like if I was taking money from our account, for example? I know you would notice at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get how, if from a safety perspective, then I would be like, oh, I'm gonna just take a wad and fuck off. If you know what I mean. Like, there's so many questions I would have for this couple. Can we ask someone Reddit? Anyway, no, we can't. Cool.
Anyway, it's a funny.
I'm gonna hit
funny
the
story.
button because you know what time it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Pet peeves.
Carry on. You're up first.
I was
Let's
first last week.
scissors, paper, rock again, as always. Scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Ha ha. You go, loser.
Okay. My pet peeve happened today, made me think of
Oh, mine happened today too.
was like, oh, that's what my pet peeve is gonna be.
Okay, carry on.
So Lockie he drove up to Toowoomba, I drove back. And if you're driving, you don't get to be DJ because we've made this rule. We've changed the rule around. But because we each get a turn of driving. So when
Okay.
you're driving, you don't get to be DJ because it's too distracting.
Okay, yep.
So passenger gets to be DJ. And
For those who don't know what she means by that, it's choosing the music.
yeah, obviously.
Some people might be like, what the fuck?
What's a DJ?
Yeah, what's a DJ? Is that like a dick job?
Nobody's thinking that.
I don't know.
Anyway, Lockie's like, oh, can you play Morgan Wallen? And then I'm like, well, you're not DJ, but I'll allow it. And so I turn it. Oh, this is my pet peeve.
Can you give more context to the story?
Turn it up. So I turn it full blast, and we're singing along. And then he's like, "Oh, how good's it gonna be? One day when you're a huge country music star." And then he starts talking, and I'm like, "Turn it down so I can hear him." I'm like, what? And then he's like, starts talking about a whole different tangent. And then he finishes, and then I turn the music. He's like, "Turn it up, turn it back up." Oh, did you hear that? Da, da, da. And like you're trying to talk over the song, which is one of my biggest pet peeves.
I get so excited. Like I'm just in the moment when I hear the song, my brain's going places, and I'm like,
I know, but
we're gonna do the same.
I love that you're excited, but then I have to turn it down because I can't do two things at once. Like I cannot listen to a song and
Well, just tune the song out, leave it up so I can hear it, and then listen.
Yeah.
Like simple.
That's my pet peeve. So, what's yours?
So how can I fix that? I don't think I can. I think I'm just pretty awesome there. Well,
you either have the song or you're
my pet peeve is with the announcement that you're making tomorrow. I said multiple times, guys, we all run businesses here. Please communicate with me when you're going to make the announcement so I can run off the same schedule as you guys. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're in this on this together. And I find out 2 minutes ago, like before this podcast, that she's in it. So you have a really bad habit of doing that too. Those who aren't watching on Patreon and you're listening on Spotify, we have a camera set up, right? Like at the moment, we're sitting on the couch together, right? Very intimate.
Lucky gets two.
And we have yes, and I'll go back to my first one in a moment. We have a laptop with a tripod and a phone, very basic setup, right? And it's on a piano chair, so not the most stable of chairs. And Amy just proceeds to keep kicking it, and the camera's like, it's like you're ruining the visual experience for people on the other side of the camera. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing on behalf of Amy.
Sorry, guys.
So that's not my fault. But back where I was, she didn't tell me. And so now we're rolling it out tomorrow. I
just think that you heard it when we're all discuss it at the dinner table together.
I'm not always at the dinner table with you guys. I'm either on.
So I lose track about who's heard the message and who hasn't.
What I would do, just to improve our relationship, recap me on those things. It's important.
Yeah.
Thank you for my TED Talk.
But what if we did talk about it and you just weren't listening?
Trust me, you haven't. I would have definitely known because I've asked multiple times. I think I even asked last night. No one said anything.
Are you serious? Because we were talking about it last night.
No, I think I dead set asked. I was like, can you guys let me know? And no one said, yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. Well, need to confirm that's definitely tomorrow. But
well, for those who are watching now live, stay tuned. Go to my Instagram for the announcement, not Amy's. Mine. Thank you. Now, remember, if you're tuning in for the very first time, hit like or subscribe, whichever platform you're listening on. Make sure you join our Amy's Patreon so you can. How's Patreon going?
Good. It's ticking on.
What are you doing in there at
At
the moment?
Amy Shepherd Pie. Well, I actually am looking for a new logo, right?
Ooh.
And I just got all of these fonts to choose from, and I've posted it to Patreon. I need some help choosing which
Oh,
one.
get in there and help her choose.
Let me.
Wow,
There's so many there. I like multiple.
Yeah, you got 12 there. How good. 12 to choose from. You could be part of that journey. Head over to Amy's Patreon. But if you also aren't, just make sure you hit subscribe. You'll be notified right away. Share this episode on your socials. Tag us. Let us know what you like. Recommend some guests. Obviously, we will be getting guests on for the next season, but load them up. We're going to have some good stuff coming. I'm excited, and you're probably going to hear the announcement in only a number of hours. That's enough from us.
Hooroo.
Hooroo.